Welcome to my channel. Today I will be discussing the secret lives of self-controlled people. Now let's get started. The warm, gooey chocolate chips beckoned me closer. I told myself I'd just have one. Just a taste, I reasoned. But we all know how this story ends. The entire batch of cookies vanished. My willpower crumbled in the face of freshly baked temptation. Sound familiar? We've all been there. That inner battle between desire and restraint is something we know all too well. Why is it that some days we conquer our cravings with ease, while other days we succumb to the allure of a sugary treat? It turns out that self-control is not about some magical reserve of willpower. It's about understanding the science behind temptation and developing clever strategies to outsmart our desires. My fascination with this very human struggle led me on a deep dive into the world of self-control research. I wanted to unravel the secrets of those who seemed to navigate the land of temptation with effortless grace. What I discovered changed everything I thought I knew about willpower. Self-control is a hot topic. Everyone wants more of it. We want to resist that extra slice of cake, stick to our workout routine, and conquer our procrastination demons. But what exactly is self-control? It's the ability to override our impulses and desires in pursuit of a larger goal. It's about making choices that align with our values, even when faced with tempting alternatives. For years, the prevailing belief was that self-control was all about willpower. People with strong willpower were praised for their ironclad restraint. Those who struggled were labeled as weak-willed. But this simplistic view fails to capture the complexity of self-control. It's not just about brute force, it's about finesse, strategy, and understanding our own vulnerabilities. The latest research in psychology and neuroscience paints a far more nuanced picture. It turns out that our brains are wired to prioritize immediate gratification. We're hardwired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. This ancient survival mechanism served us well in the past, but in our modern world of abundance, it can lead us astray. The willpower as muscle metaphor has been incredibly popular. The idea is that our willpower is like a muscle that can be strengthened with practice and depleted with overuse. While there's a grain of truth to this, it's not the whole story. Relying solely on willpower is like trying to win a staring contest with a plate of cookies. You might resist for a while, but eventually you'll blink. The problem with the willpower model is that it frames self-control as a battle of sheer force. It pits our conscious goals against our deeply ingrained desires, and guess who usually wins that fight? Our primal instincts have had millions of years to perfect their tactics. Our conscious mind is playing catch-up. The truth is that self-control is not about suppressing our desires entirely. It's about managing them strategically. It's about outsmarting our impulses rather than engaging in an epic battle of wills. And that's where the real secrets of self-control lie. The ego depletion theory, which suggests that willpower is a limited resource that gets depleted with use, has been widely popularized. The idea is that every time we resist temptation, we chip away at our finite supply of willpower. This can lead to a state of ego depletion where we're more likely to give in to subsequent temptations. While it's true that we can experience a temporary dip in self-control after exerting effortful control, the notion of a completely depleted willpower reserve is misleading. Our brains are far more adaptable than that. Motivation, beliefs, and strategies play a much larger role in our self-control successes and failures. Instead of viewing willpower as a limited resource, it's more helpful to think of it as a fluctuating state, influenced by factors like stress, sleep, and even our mood. When we're well-rested, optimistic, and believe in our ability to succeed, our self-control soars. Conversely, when we're tired, stressed, or doubting ourselves, our willpower takes a nosedive. The art of avoiding temptation. One of the most effective ways to bolster self-control is to avoid temptation altogether. This may seem obvious, but we often underestimate the power of our environment in shaping our choices. We surround ourselves with temptations, then wonder why our willpower crumbles. Think about it. You're more likely to overeat if your kitchen pantry is stocked with chips and cookies. You're less likely to exercise if your comfy couch is just a few steps away from your home office. Our environment can either support or sabotage our best intentions. The The good news is that we have the power to design our environment in a way that makes self-control effortless. By strategically removing temptations from our surroundings, we can reduce the cognitive effort required to resist them. It's like taking a detour around a construction zone. You reach your destination faster and with less stress. Temptation in everyday life. Let's bring this concept to life with some everyday examples. Imagine you're trying to cut back on sugar. Instead of keeping a jar of cookies on the counter, store them out of sight in a high cabinet. Out of sight, out of mind. If you're working from home and struggling to resist the allure of your comfy couch, set up a dedicated workspace in a separate room. These small environmental tweaks can make a world of difference in your self-control success. Remember, it's not about becoming a willpower superhero. It's about working smarter, not harder. By strategically managing our surroundings, we can conserve our precious willpower for the challenges that truly matter. The next time you're struggling with temptation, take a look around. Is there anything in your environment that's making it harder to resist? If so, see if you can remove or minimize the temptation. Your future self will thank you. The power of habit. Habits are the invisible architects of our lives. They are the automatic behaviors that we perform without conscious thought or effort. From brushing our teeth in the morning to scrolling through social media before bed, habits shape a significant portion of our daily actions. When it comes to self-control, habits can be either our greatest ally or our worst enemy. Good habits, like packing a healthy lunch or going for a daily run, make it easier to stay on track with our goals. Bad habits, like late-night snacking or procrastination, can derail our best intentions. The good news is that habits are not destiny. We have the power to consciously create and break them. By understanding the science of habit formation, we can harness the power of automation to our advantage. Strong habits, strong self-control. Research has shown a strong link between high self-control and well-established habits. People with strong self-control aren't constantly battling temptation. They've automated their desired behaviors, making it easier to stay on track. Think about it. If you've developed a strong habit of going for a run every morning, you don't have to expend willpower debating whether or not to exercise. You just lace up your shoes and go. The decision has already been made. The key to building strong habits lies in understanding the habit loop, which consists of three main components: the cue, the routine, and the reward. The cue triggers the habit, the routine is the behavior itself, and the reward reinforces the habit, making it more likely to be repeated in the future. Meta self-control, the secret weapon. Meta self-control, also known as self-control of self-control, is a powerful concept that takes us beyond the traditional view of willpower. It's about becoming aware of our self-control patterns, identifying our vulnerabilities, and developing strategies to preempt potential pitfalls. It's about anticipating situations where we're likely to struggle and putting safeguards in place to protect ourselves from temptation. It's about knowing our triggers, recognizing our weak moments, and having a plan in place to navigate those challenges successfully. Think of it as setting up a series of if-then statements in your mind. For example, if I'm feeling stressed after work, then I will go for a walk instead of reaching for the cookie jar. By anticipating our potential pitfalls, we can transform moments of weakness into opportunities for self-control success. Mastering meta self-control. Developing strong meta self-control skills is like becoming the architect of your own behavior. It's about understanding the blueprints of your mind and designing strategies that set you up for success. Here are a few practical tips to get you started. 1. Identify your triggers. What are the situations, emotions, or environmental cues that tend to derail your self-control? Once you know your triggers, you can start to develop strategies to manage them. 2. Plan for setbacks. Accept that setbacks are a normal part of the process. Don't let a temporary lapse in self-control derail your progress. Instead, view it as a learning opportunity and adjust your strategies accordingly. 3. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, especially when you stumble. Self-criticism only erodes our self-belief and makes it harder to bounce back from setbacks. Remember, meta self-control is a skill that develops over time with practice and patience. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results overnight. Keep experimenting, keep learning, and keep refining your strategies. The path to self-mastery. Self-control is not about becoming a willpower superhero who effortlessly resists every temptation. It's about understanding our triggers, building strong habits, and developing meta self-control strategies that set us up for success. By embracing a more nuanced and compassionate view of self-control, we can break free from the cycle of guilt and shame that often accompanies our self-control struggles. We can stop viewing ourselves as flawed or weak-willed and start developing the skills and strategies that empower us to make choices that align with our values and goals. The journey of self-mastery is not about perfection. It's about progress, self-awareness, and a willingness to learn from our mistakes. So embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories, and remember that you have the power to shape your choices and create the life you envision. I hope this video helps. Please subscribe, like, and share to help this channel grow and provide more content. Thanks for watching.